Welcome everybody. We're going to be showing you how to close out the month strong tonight. Sending that to me. That was so creatively cool, and I appreciate that. And so let's go ahead and bring up our presentation for tonight. Talking about the month end, filling in those gaps, those missing pieces, and understanding the strategies of how to close out the month successfully is what I'm going to be focusing on tonight. I go through organizations. I start on the 15th of the month, everybody. I go through everybody's organization, see where there's a deficit, where if they work a little bit harder over here, if they transfer some volume over there, what can be done, and chances are you've all seen me do that at one point or other. And I'm going to be using tonight as an example part of Kathy Weaver's business in her structure, part of one of her teammates in a live example momentarily. So but let's go ahead and start this presentation and talk initially about auto ships. If you're sitting around your computer and you're watching all the folks in your organization whose auto ships haven't shipped yet, who are scheduled for the 30th or the 31st, then that's scary. Okay, but it's so preventable. By backing those auto ships up to no later than the 15th to the 20th at the latest, right? You'll know by the 15th or the 20th of the month exactly where your business stands each and every month. I like to know prior to the last minute of hoping, right, crossing our fingers and hoping that everything is going to go through fine, no credit cards are going to have an issue, and our rank may be reliant upon all those auto ships going through effectively. Well, what if they don't? Right? It can be devastating. Right? It can be costly. All right, but the reason that we ask everybody to push them back to the 15th is a multitude of reasons. But let's talk about the initial reason. From a business perspective, we want to know where all of our business is prior to growth by the 15th to the 20th of the month. Okay, we also want, when we sign people up after the 15th, to back their order ship up to the 15th so they have enough product and they don't run out, especially in that first 60 to 90 days. We know how critical that is. Okay, and also simply, it's a barometer. It shows us growth. What I do is I write down at the 15th of the month what actually have a spreadsheet because I'm a numbers guy, as you know, but I have a running spreadsheet that shows me what my volumes were at the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. This way I can track my growth monthly. Okay, so knowing where we stand, and here's a very good reason why you want to push them back. Let's say that you have auto ship scheduled for tomorrow or on the 31st, Wednesday. And let's say that maybe 2 or 3 people are traveling and they're not reachable. Right? And something happens with their credit card and their auto ship doesn't go through. Right? That's going to be harmful. Okay, whereas if we moved it back to the 15th, very few people travel out of an area where they can't get in touch or be in touch with people for more than a week or 2. Right? So we have enough time to correct the issues. Let's say somebody's credit card is maxed out and it just declines. How are you going to get that rectified in a day? Okay, so it's really putting an insurance policy on your business. Auto ships are so important in making sure that they're set back towards the middle of the month. And then let's talk about the holding tank. As we're sponsoring people into this business, they go into our holding tank. There's a very direct strategy of placing people by identifying leaders. Okay, I love to watch people over those first 2 months to see who's going to build, who's coachable, right? If the people that are coachable are the ones that I want to put people under if I have a chance to. Does that make sense? Because they're going to do what I've shown them because they're coachable. And it allows me some freedom in knowing that I've given them a gift. I've put some people under them. And now they can manage those people as I would manage them. Right? Or how about just knowing geographically or socially who might get along best in that holding tank? So when you place people, like here's an example. Let's say I've got a person I've signed up in Boise, Idaho, and I've got somebody in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho in my business. Wouldn't it make sense for me to place that person under the other person in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, as long as that person is coachable and building the business effectively? Of course it would. They could work together. Then I also like to just sit back and watch who might just take off. Who might just take off and leave them in my front line and not place them anywhere. And then events drive this business. I have events tomorrow, 2 of them. And then I've got the 2 webinars Wednesday night at the end of the month. I am constantly doing events up until the end of the month to help business partners effectively invite, bring people to take a look and see if it makes sense. It's so important, guys. I hate to see I love to see the amount of volume that comes in the last week, but I'm just sorry that the efforts aren't spread out over the entire month. Does that make sense? I watched my business go from about 150 to 225,000 at the end of the month in that last week. Whereas I would much rather see these people that are working so hard that last week, working hard in a more deliberate manner over the course of the month. Right? Maybe not working as many hours, the entire month as they're doing in that 1 week. Oh, excuse me. Working as many hours over the entire month as they are in that 1 week by spreading it out, being more effective. Webinars drive this business. When we geographically can't connect with people, when we have friends and family like Laura has Christy and Billy in New York, right? They're in Manhattan, Harlem, and they are able to connect with us on this webinar. How wonderful is that? By being invited to come and be a part of trainings, business opportunity presentations, etc. Focusing on in-homes and launches, 2-on-1s, you and your sponsor meeting with a prospect. All of these things, the point of this is, don't take your foot off the gas pedal at the end of the month and coast into your rank. That's ridiculous. What you should be doing is hitting the gas pedal through your rank. It's kind of like when we're in karate, when they taught us to throw a punch. You punch through your target. Okay, you want to go through the end of the month and into the next month, because the momentum you bring from month end is going to certainly impact the beginning of your month. Because if you hit the brake at the end of the month, or just take your foot off the gas, what happens to your business if that's the message you're teaching everybody? If everybody's coasting through the end of the month, your business is not sustainable. Now, structure is such an important part, and that's what I focus on, as you all know. This is going to be very hard for you to read, so I'm going to point it out to you. This gentleman in this position here at the very top, he's got 4 active. Okay, he was a Venture 4 last month, and right now he's not going to be Venture 4 because he only has 1 team that has somebody active under them. Okay, excuse me. He was not Venture 4 last month. He was Venture 3. So, but we couldn't get him to Venture 4 easily by getting him to sponsor somebody or having somebody drop in his upline, somebody under somebody that's active in his front line besides this person here. So in looking at this a little bit more, I found that he's got 420 of personal volume himself. But we only need 140 to be active. So we've got 280 extra volume that can be moved into his downline. Now, what if one of these people that's not active was still in his holding tank? Couldn't he place 140 under one of them and place one of those people under one of these other active people to get himself to Venture 4? Well, that's our job as leadership. That's our job as upline, to be finding these things, because he's got great volume. He's got over 2,400 in volume. But now I went and I looked even a little bit further, and I found that Doris, who's immediately under him, well, she has, and let me back up and show you, she's got 3 active underneath her, but she's not Venture 3. She was last month, and she's going to be missing out on a $100 bonus this month. So couldn't he take that other 140, because she has, she was supposed to be 650 in total good volume. So she has just short volume, but if this gentleman here placed one of his cases here and one under this person that's inactive, doesn't that get her to venture 3? And doesn't he get a matching bonus? So Doris gets $100 and he gets $100 off of volume, personal volume, that's not even commissionable. See the 420 here? That's not even commissionable volume to him. So by moving it underneath, not only is he going to get paid commission on that volume, but he's also going to get somebody back to venture 3 for the second month, which gets him a matching $100 bonus. So we just found here, okay, what we found here ends up being $212 on simply moving volume that's already there. Okay? And if any of these people are still in the holding tank, then he can get himself to venture 4, which helps him halfway to getting his $100 for venture 4 next month. I hope that makes sense. But now, let's take it a step further. We've got, this was the Doris. She's got the 210 in personal volume and 1620 in group volume. Okay, so this is where she needs that extra case right down under here. Actually, she can put it anywhere in her organization, right? She has 3 active, and she'll get to venture 3 again. But folks, I whittled down. This is 8, 9, and this is 8, 9, 10, and 11 levels for me. That's how deep I'm going in my organization and looking at people's businesses. Why am I doing that? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Because we don't leave money on the table. That's our deal. We just don't do it. And by going down and making sure that, pardon me, everybody's capitalizing on the compensation plan, the check match goes up. Okay, and it keeps going up. So we all stand to make more money as a result of making sure that everybody's making as much as they possibly are entitled to. So here I am, 11 generations down right here, and I am looking at this structure and found $212 that's on the table. That $212 as it goes up ends up becoming almost $310 through check matches. Okay? This is important money, and this is only one venture 3 leg. Now what happens if we're looking at endeavor legs, endeavor 1s, endeavor 2s, and those venture 4s and venture 3s associated? I can tell you last month, I found where 1 pack of chews, pardon me, made somebody an extra $700. 700 bucks. Okay, by being short on a venture 3 of $35, and they had enough volume. They had extra volume, personal volume. But all it needed to be was shifted. And it was a $700 difference in the compensation plan for that month. And guys, this is real money. So I encourage you, scroll around, understand the back office and the structuring. It's so important to your teammates that may be relatively new in the last month, 2 months, or even 3 months, that may not fully understand the value of the compensation plan, that you get in there and understand it for them. Like tonight, I sent Kathy Weaver a note saying, hey, Kathy, let's get together and make this happen over here because it's going to have financial impact. Well, that also has financial impact to Gloria and Bruce, and to Dr. Dorothy, and to Greg, and to Joe, and to me, as a result of me going through and finding these opportunities. Not errors, they are what they are. But we can make more money by crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And each and every single month, and you know, I have a lot of people that are in my organization. And I don't have to go through a vast majority of my businesses any longer because I've taught people how to do this. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to safeguard your check, maximize your income, understand the strategy of placements, understand the strategy of the holding tank, and not racing to place people permanently in your organization. Allow them to come about. Understand who might work best together, geographically or socially. Okay, you never want to reward bad behavior or uncoachable behavior with the body just to get you to rank. Because that's called duct taping. And you'll have to duct tape that again next month with somebody else, and then next month with somebody else. Okay, so important stuff. I'm going to open up the microphones. If there's any questions on the structuring, and specific to the structuring end of month, then I'm happy to take those, but let's keep it very specific, folks. Thank you.